Hello, Sports Conversations with
Ricardo Myrick.
yes, and we are here on this podcast to talk about
My experience with football.
yes,
Okay.
yes, and you were downtown at the tailgate, right?
Yeah, I did my first tailgate party down the Ravens Walk with the Ravens Eagles game that happened this Sunday, December 11th,
And that's really cool.
2024.
Yeah, that's really cool. Did you watch the band?
Actually, the band wasn't out, it was too cold. But I went to a previous game and I forgot the name of the team, but I did get the band. I got the band.
Nice.
I got the band doing the solo at the sponsor booths, and then when I sat, the whole band came marching down in front of the stadium. So
That's
I
really
followed
cool.
the whole band. So they was playing good music. So the band was full. I mean, they had like almost the size like over 100 people in the band.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So this was the game in Philadelphia. It was kind of like a must win game, and we did not win.
No, we did not win. We started off good.
We did.
Yeah, we got
did.
a field goal in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you are not a Ravens fan, though.
I'm not a diehard Ravens fan, no,
I'm a diehard
but
Ravens fan.
I do follow the Ravens, and I love the effort that the Ravens do.
I unfortunately bleed purple.
You bleed purple?
I do.
Okay. Now I got to talk to the flock crew.
Okay.
Yeah, the flock crew had the chains on.
Oh, how was that?
Yeah, and I got to talk to one of the guys. We had the makeup with the regalia, with the paint on his face and everything. It was just some cool people. Yeah, they come out to celebrate, just to cheer up everybody. So it was loud. I mean, it was loud, elbow to elbow. I never thought it would be so many people like that.
Yeah. And so what did you experience? So what was it?
I experienced a lot of fun. I experienced even the kids came out. I mean, it was like a 4-year-old, 5-year-old saw this big old tall Wawa dressed up in a character suit.
Oh.
And then he just came over and he had to come over to shake the hand of Mr. Wawa. You know, like the gas food store that always sits on the corners. And it was great. And I talked to the guy, and he said he has been doing it for 4 years.
Nice.
Right. So I got to record, since we're in class together with this sports communication class. I got to record this little kid, all in green, just taking a picture with a Wawa character. It was just a good spot. Yeah.
So because it was December 1st, and I'm only pointing this out because it's December 1st, was there any like Christmas themes going on?
Interesting enough, not for the game. It was cold enough, but it was no Christmas Santa themes going on at the Ravens game.
Also, was there snow? Because I heard that there was snow flurries. Did you see snow?
Not when I got there. It wasn't snow flurries.
Okay.
If they happened earlier that morning before I got there, because since it was like a 4:25 game, and I got there around 2. No, it wasn't snowing around 2 o'clock.
Okay. So going back to the Ravens, going back to football, any team that you do follow very heavily that you're...
Right now, who else have been following other than the Ravens? The Ravens, who's got competition? McNair, with the Chiefs. You know, if I'm pronouncing the gentleman's names correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, so far that with the Chiefs being top in the league,
they are
right, and the Steelers, of course.
Yeah,
that's our biggest.
Unfortunately,
that's our biggest. What do you call it? I don't want to call it
rivalries.
Rival. I don't want to call it a hate team.
Rivalries.
Yeah, but we have the most. We have the most discord.
Yeah.
And anger with each other with the Steelers. And I was real surprised to still see that the Steelers was winning more games than us.
Absolutely.
Right. So Tomlin is a brother he's getting paid.
Yeah.
And he makes sure the Steelers stays on top.
Yeah. So now that you see the standings in the NFC, who do you see winning these top NFC, AFC matchup games?
Okay. Now, with me, I used to start watching more games during the playoffs times, so I get lost on the NFC, AFC. Because I don't really like read the papers or go to the news, on the internet to see the numbers of the small divisions and how you make the playoffs. I always come in when the playoffs happens. Man, I just keep my eyes on. But with us losing to Mr. Hunt's with the Eagles, it makes it challenge. We may make the playoffs, but I don't feel like we're going to win the Super Bowl.
No.
I don't feel we have enough depth to do the Super Bowl. It's sad to say, because if with the the score's been as low as it was,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like to depend on field goals to win
Mm-hmm.
games, and so far, as much as our kicker is always on point, you know, it's still a lot of pressure for the man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't give him credit because he still needs to kick. I'm missing 3 field goals in a game, and I think he missed at least 2 for the games against the Eagles. That's not good. So I'm not happy about that piece. But we've noticed the last couple of games that he's been missing his field goals. But if we can actually get past the red line, the red zone, excuse me, and that's what I've heard, not just about the Ravens, but even any team. There's another team that I did hear at Sportscasters talk about that they've got into the grid line 3 or 4 times, and you only converted once. You can't win Super Bowls.
You cannot.
And playoffs if you can't convert once you get in the red zone.
So do you think it was a good thing for us to even get Derrick Henry at this point?
Very important, because we've been depending too much on our quarterback being a running back. Okay. And I haven't been happy about Lamar Jackson having to be a running back. I'm glad this year and last year he could finally be a quarterback where they gave him receivers that he could throw the ball to. So he can stand in the pocket, and then when things are covered, then he can actually do his excellent gifted skills to do conversion. You know, and we've seen the quarterback for the Chiefs being consistent with that. When everybody set, he can come and run up the middle and get his first down. And Lamar has also done the same thing.
Absolutely.
So he can. Both of those players, when they're DBs on the opposite team has got the receivers locked, they can always run and get some yardage, and I appreciate that for both, especially for Lamar.
Yeah. So my last couple questions are, you know, now that we do have this predicament, what's next for Tucker?
Tucker, he's gonna get in. He's gonna get on point, and Tucker's not gonna be fired because I mean, having 1 year where he actually looks like a human being versus a Superman. I'm not mad at Tucker. Of course, I'm disappointed, but he's human. And I made the excuse that there's pressures on him, but you know we always want to win games. But hey, I mean the coach hasn't been fired, and the coach can go 3 or 4 seasons and not get fired until they rebuild the team. I mean Tucker can have a off season where he can get in tune and come back toward the playoffs and kick better and still help us get into the playoffs and even get into the second round of the playoffs. But if we don't, we have to add some more people on the team, especially defense-wise, to control the ball.
We lost a lot of defense.
Right.
We lost a lot of defense, especially to a lot of good teams.
Because defense actually wins games.
Yes, they do.
And I didn't understand that because my dad taught me that back in my 30s, since I'm aging myself, that defense wins games. I always thought offense did, but no, defense does.
Yeah.
And with defense...
We lost our defensive coordinator. We lost a lot of offense.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And so I'm grateful our DBs have stepped up, but I haven't been noticing or learning the names of a defensive tackle or a linebacker. If they're putting enough pressure, we got to put a little more pressure on the quarterback and or even just stopping the offensive line of the opposite team that we're playing to move forward. So
absolutely,
and it's some reason about in the NFL the defensive backs like to be shorter than the receivers, so they're gonna always be able to either throw over the head or and get the ball like that. So that's why we need more pressure on the quarterback and stopping the ball at the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely,
and have another defensive tackle or another linebacker to put that extra pressure. Because our corners finally have stepped up, you know, because last year they wasn't able to do it as well as we needed to.
Right, absolutely. So, as a wild guess, who do you think will win the Super Bowl? Think Kansas City again?
Kansas City's trying to. They really are.
Or do you think Buffalo? Because Buffalo beat Kansas City.
I haven't been watching Buffalo, but I noticed the numbers of Buffalo, and my man, I don't know his name.
Josh Allen.
But Josh Allen has an attitude of a confidence that he's serious and he wants to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but old school history is often, even with McNair, some reason the pressure of the game of the Super Bowl is a whole different energy and a whole different pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So oftentimes the first time in you lose statistically, and it's a sad statistic.
Mm-hmm.
But defense is the other plus about Super Bowls. Defense, if you got a strong defense, you can win a Super Bowl on defense. Because the Ravens did that with the first round when we got our Super Bowl. Our defense won our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, we won it with offense with Flacco. Flacco took us in with that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But the first round we got, it was our defense that got the Super Bowl for the Ravens. And we're worthy of another Super Bowl ring. Lamar has done enough to actually get us a Super Bowl.
Yeah, not our defense though.
Right. And our defense is stable, but we need to have that extra kick.
Yeah.
So Kansas can definitely be in the division championship this year.
Mm-hmm.
But with Hunts with Philadelphia has enough confidence to be back up there. And the Chiefs aren't, let's say, tight enough that they can't be beat. They can be beat because they saw they can be beat. So I'm not all confident that the Chiefs is going to be able to make it to the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying they're going to be able to stop everybody.
Absolutely.
They got great coaching, but and for me, sadly to say, the Eagles coaching lost that game, especially in the last in overtime with them, and he didn't know how to work the clock.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs did, so the Chiefs actually got that one.
Yeah.
But I felt the Eagles was actually playing the best game with that, and it wasn't just the heart of a hurt quarterback for the Chiefs. They got that, and them playing as a team. But it was a beautiful experience of having two black quarterbacks in Super Bowl for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were actually doing a special thing in this time of the 2020s and 24 of we probably 1/3 black quarterbacks. Where when I was watching back in the 70s, we didn't have any black quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
And we barely got one, you know, consistent as a full-time quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, and when Mr. Mann, who at Washington D.C. For the Redskins took us to get the Super Bowl, that was beautiful.
It was
for him to get that black man to get his Super Bowl ring and get that Super Bowl ring. And even with these two brothers, with Hunts and McNair, if I'm pronounced his name right, for the Chiefs who got us there last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're hearing the Bills, the Eagles can still be back there. We get to see if the Steelers can squeeze through. Yeah. You know.
They usually try, but we'll see.
Right, we'll see. Because that's always been our thorn in the side.
Yeah.
Because they often can push the Ravens out of the way.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, I want the Ravens to get through the first round.
You're Steelers liker. Ugh. I don't know about you.
No, I'm a sports athlete.
That's true.
Right, and if you've noticed, I've talked about the strengths of all the teams.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and
I do appreciate that you like to speak on all of them.
Right. I mean, cause I've talked to Eagles, Chiefs. Even though I didn't know the name of the quarterback for the Bills, but I've noticed he's been very consistent.
Yes, he has.
Okay. So he's been doing. Actually, he's been playing a quiet game like the Ravens often.
Yes, he has.
Because people put a lot.
I'm surprised about that.
They'll put a lot of publicity on other teams, but you don't have to have that camera on me.
Nope.
I'm just gonna get the job done, and that's
Josh Allen has been doing very well.
Josh Allen, and with him being the top team like the Chiefs, he says, "Hey, I got confidence just because y'all won the Super Bowl."
I don't even like the Buffalo Bills like that, but I'm very interested to see what Josh Allen does in the postseason.
Right. I mean, because the Patriots aren't back up there again.
Nope, no, they're not.
You know, and I thought the Cardinals were going to be able to come back a second round, but the Cardinals just fell out of it.
Yes, they did.
You know, and I thought the Cardinals were going to be able to stand for a couple seasons. And
I think they need new management.
Right, and they're just not there. And I didn't think that the 49ers, you know, with the rookie quarterback, you know, because he wasn't strong.
Brock Purdy is He's okay.
Right, he's okay. You know, and he did
And that's
okay.
just said he's okay.
He's okay. He did the best he could for that
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, he even stepped up, but he's just not a super quarterback.
Nope, he's not.
And so, what can you say? Man's giving his heart.
He is.
And what more can you do?
Yeah.
And the rest of the team, you know, of the 49ers help keep that game going.
Yep.
Because it is a team game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just like a sportsman.
Yes, you are.
I just like watching the
Yeah,
game
I do
across
too.
everything. Well, I'm glad if you've had any more questions.
No. Do you have any questions for me?
No, things sounds good.
I appreciate you coming on to my podcast and talking
yeah,
about football, because we can continue on. We can go to college football if you want.
For sure. Hey, that'd be another good.
That would be another good one.
Good run. Because
Yes.
I've been watching that one.
Yeah.
Because in closing, I hear that. Who is it? The brand name. Who's winning? Is it Indiana? I hear Indiana might not make it in.
Yeah, Indiana might not make it in.
Because they're not the marketing piece.
Right.
They're not the brand.
Yeah.
You know, even though they did 11-1 or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But Alabama can get pushed in there.
Yep.
You know, and can push.
Yeah. So you guys will have to come back for the college football one. So, so thank you guys for listening or watching our
conversation.
sports conversations.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll see you guys later.